So I can't, I was running a few errands, and before I left the house, I was getting ready, still in the middle of getting ready, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't think about this other person, this other energy, and just sitting with this realization of the fact that they're still lingering. Like, it feels like it's a memory that's slowly like it's slowly becoming more and more of a memory, right? And I was just thinking about how it's still lingering, how it's still there, the energy, whether it was because of the songs that I tapped into a few days ago. And I just kept thinking about communication, right? Trying to be honest with myself. The tarot shuffle this morning, or the layout. Well, first, it just meditative. I didn't meditate yesterday. I was in a rush to get somewhere, to get this painting, actually. I couldn't stop thinking about this painting. It was just so beautiful, and it just speaks to kind of where I'm at, with this whole realization of just, the feminine and masculine, the feminine within the feminine and the feminine within the masculine being in parts, and this realization of wanting to feel whole, wanting to feel complete. And she's running towards the ocean. She's on this beach, she's running towards the ocean, and with this realization that the ocean will put her back together, and the ocean is symbolic for emotions. And yeah, just and then there's this I don't know, like there's this sense of all four elements being present: the sky, the air, the ground, earth, right? Water. And fire often represents action, her running towards it. So it really speaks to me. And look at how unbalanced she is too, with just the circles, right, in her chest and her face, right? It's just beautiful. It speaks to what I'm going through. And I just, when it was presented to me, I was captivated by it, by the message, and I haven't been able to let it go. And it just so happened that this new person painted it, and I couldn't let this image go. And when you can't let something go, you just have to have it, right? That's how you know. And so I took action. I called up someone, asked that person to come with me. I didn't want to go alone. I knew this person wasn't going to be in the shop. And I purchased it. I didn't want anyone else to have it because it's just so symbolic of where I'm at, and that's the beauty of art, when it's created, it there's a message that's being conveyed, but it's not necessarily the message that people receive, right? Communication. It's about communication, how we communicate the message. And this individual had, his own reasons for creating this, but for me, it just spoke in such a way that's personal to me, right? It's funny because I was trying so adamant to be there early. I knew this person wasn't going to be there. So I was like, okay, I want to go buy it before this person realizes it, right? I'm coming out of the store, and of course, who happens to be in the parking lot? So it's just this, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And so it was an interesting coincidence, for that matter. But communication's been sticking out a lot, and going back to this other individual and just the message from the tarot reading, and just this sense of this person's coming back, right? Or was, I don't know, still is, or if it's still in the future, right? Timeless. But this idea, and me not knowing how to feel about it, more so because I was focused on the end result, this idea of having to choose. But then I started thinking more and more about the connection, right? And communication, and the realization that for this other individual, we were each other's person. We were each other's listening ear, the sound of wisdom, or, guidance when we needed it. And found a way to make time for each other in developing the friendship, right? The friendship aspect of it. And, whether it was for early morning coffee meetups, or, moments in time where we were each other's listening ear. And I don't want to take that away from anybody, because everybody deserves to be heard, That's part of the healing process, right? You don't bottle up, you open up. And you have to be willing to do that. There's strength in that. There's vulnerability, there's beauty in opening yourself up to tapping into those inner thoughts, those inner feelings, right? That are buried underneath the constructs, underneath the expectations, underneath the judgments, underneath the trauma, I don't know, just the things we're born into. But everybody deserves to be heard. Everybody deserves to be loved, and everybody deserves to be seen. And if this person coming back, if that's still the plan, right? Free will, choice. I want this person to know that I will listen when this person is ready, when this person finds their voice. I will be there to listen. Which is a skill I'm mastering, because, I have a lot of squirrel moments. I'm not gonna beat around the bush and say I'm a holy listener, because I'm not. I recognize that I get distracted, but I will do my best, right? To be present, I always try to do my best to be present when I'm with someone else who's trying to speak their truth, right? I mean, it's scary to do that, and I want this person to know that I'll be there for them, if and when they're ready. And talk about how crazy this is, right? So after I have that moment of recognizing, okay, I'm okay with doing that, right? I go off to my errands, and this song comes out in the background, and it's called Perfect Once by Lydia, Evangeline. And this song starts resonating with me about how for those moments in time, moments, right? Because it wasn't the entire experience, but just moments, there was perfection in those four walls, you know? There was perfection in those four walls, and the fear that I used to have that still lingers, right? Was this fear of losing what once was, right? Losing the feeling of perfection of many, many moons ago, of losing, you know, sometimes you're afraid that if you step away from something, you'll forget that it was real, that it was real for that one moment, or many single moments, right? And the hurt and the pain of the belief that you won't rekindle that. I had another friend tell me once, gosh, I forgot the story. See, I'm really bad with these freaking, when I try to retell stories, it never comes out the same. But it was basically saying like, you know, I don't even remember, but it makes sense in my head. That's all that's important. If I remember, I'll write it in the description box. But it had something to do with the fear of losing that love or that belief that something existed that was once perfect in that moment, in those four walls, for whatever it was worth, right? And trying to see the silver lining behind it. This morning I listened to an old morning message of MJ that talked about Plutonic and karmic soulmates versus a twin flame. I don't know much aside from what she shared, but something along the lines that how confusing it can be, right? Because there's still that sense of intensity. The difference is that one, there seems to be some type of narcissistic personality, like that's like at a higher level than normal. I mean, and we all have that. We all have this, you know, this narcissistic like tendencies, or, you know, otherwise, you know, where would our self-esteem be, right? But when it gets to an unhealthy level where at all cost, you know, you have to bring others down to get by, to win at all costs, like that's when it becomes unhealthy, right? When you step beyond that threshold and hurt others just for your own personal gain, that's when it becomes not okay. And I'm thinking about these relationships, and I don't get the sense that any of those, for me personally, were like that. I mean, I saw the tendencies, but I saw the heart. I saw their heart. I had moments where I saw their heart, and it just doesn't resonate, you know? So call it what you want to call it. It was nonetheless a beautiful relationship for what it was, for what it provided in that moment, in those moments of despair, of confusion, of sadness, of anger even, you know? And ultimately, for me anyways, I can only speak for myself because again, I feel like I've been trying my best to speak my truth, right? Open up my heart, wear my heart on my sleeve through this process. And I don't get much from this other person, if anything at all, for a while now. So I don't know if it's just my way in terms of how I'm feeling, or if it's mutually seen, but you know, this relationship, this connection was perfect once. And There's beauty in that. And I will always hold on to that. It will always be a part of my life. Every chapter in my life will always be a part of my life, right? I will always incorporate what I've learned, what I've loved, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'll incorporate that and transform it into good. Moving forward, that's all I can do. That's all I choose to do, right? Free will, choice. So as I'm running my errand, I'm in my car. This song is playing. I'm thinking of this other person. The car in front of me. 7A 7A777. Right? 7A777. Like what the? So this person's life path number. Guess what it is? 7. It's 7, which stands for justice in the tarot card, which is Libra. I am Libra. My ascending sign is Libra. This person's life path number is 7, which is, date of birth stuff. Maybe I put a link on the numerology stuff on this one, because I don't think I've done that. But it's pretty interesting. And then this new person, looks at my bracelet and asks me if there's anything related to it being an 8. I think it was this new person, or maybe it was a friend. Gosh darn it. Sometimes I get so much, I get so many messages that I just start mixing them up. I want to say it was this new person who says if my infinity sign is an 8. If there's anything tied into that. 7 plus 1 is 8. The 7A777. The balance and the imbalance, right? 7A7. And then 77, all in one, and then 777, which I have no idea what it means. So I looked that sucker up, right? Had to look that one up. And I'll put the link for that one below too. But then I get thrown off, and I'm just like, oh, what the hell does this mean, right? I mean, I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means anything. I don't know if it's just because I had this person in mind and these, again, the power of your thoughts. How you can manifest things so quickly. And I don't know if that was just because I had this person in mind, or if it means more later on in life. I don't know. And like I said, my morning meditation, I saw barely a dim light when I was holding my abalone shell and my crown chakra. Dim light. When I take it off, it goes away, but then when I put it on, it goes back. It's very dim light. But the image, the brief image that I got was the waves kind of going in, and the message that I got within was go within, right? You know it, go within. And when I did my spread this morning, the person that I was just supposed to be, right, with the 4 of Pentacles. And if you haven't seen the 4 of Pentacles with the Vanessa DeCourt Sun and Moon Tarot, it's the masculine, and he's sitting cross-legged in the sand with 4 sandcastles. So there's a sense of boundaries, right? And the fact that he's sitting down in the sand or on the ground, it tells me he's grounded. And then he's holding within here this magic, like bright light. So of course, right, the answer is found within, right? Setting boundaries. I won't go through every single detail of those cards. I will share that the last card was a Tower card. Tower moment. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's just for today or the future. I'm trying to keep track of it. I don't have enough cards to kind of like do a clarification. I'm learning in tarot class that it helps to have another deck. So I'm gonna look into getting that. But yeah. I don't know if that's part of the paradigm shift. I don't know if that's part of the triangles. I keep getting caught up in this triangle stuff. I don't know. But I do know that it's been a little quiet. It's been a little quiet in that respect. So I'm either in the void, in the unknown. There's this other lady that I listen to. I like her very much. She definitely has like this mother nurturing side to her. But she is in Canada, and yeah, I'll put her link below. She goes with the sun sign, so not my ascending sign, but my sun sign, which is Gemini. And she's also been on point, and she sheds light on certain things. Like it was through when I listened to her today, she talked about how I would have experienced, is that for me? Gosh, I think someone's at the door. Let me go check. Pause. Unpause. And action. No, it wasn't for me. But just this, she talked about how I would be experiencing that most of us are empaths, and that she's like, check in with your feelings, because you're gonna all of a sudden experience certain feelings, but you're gonna be happy. You're not, it's not gonna resonate with how you truly feel. So just make sure you check in with how you're feeling, because it might, the energy that's being put out there, you're feeling other people's energies. So it's just like, oh, that totally makes sense for what happened a few days ago, But she mentioned some other things too, and just resonates, right? Resonates so much. But I wanted to share that just because it's been on my mind all morning, and it's the afternoon now. I need to get ready. I'm going somewhere fun. I'm definitely embracing more fun in my life right now. That's a priority for me. I think it's trying to restore that balance, right, within me of following my heart, really, giving myself permission to follow my heart in this moment with what's presented in front of me, because it's something pretty special, I think. If the signs led me there, both of us, and we keep seeing the synchronicities, and just the fact that it was so strong, the synchronicities were so strong when we were first talking, and the energetic pull, that's what trips me out. It's just, with every other relationship, I talked about how it always felt like something was holding me back. Something was holding me back from wanting to jump all the way in, right? Like it was an actual, like, I felt it in my heart. And I always thought it was this other energy, this other person. But when this new person came, that did not exist. There was no pull from here back. If anything, it was like a pull forward, like a gentle, it was like this soft magnetic pull. And it was more me that was holding back. So that just tripped me out. And I'm just like, that has to mean something big. right? I can't ignore the signs. I'm choosing to believe, right? I'm choosing to pay attention to the signs, to listen with my heart, right? Operate from here, not so much from here. And it's led to nothing but great discoveries, right? I mean, I met a great friend through that process, and a lifelong friend, I feel. And I enjoy spending time with him too, you know, and it's led me to this place of sanctuary for myself. It's led me to face some of my fears about letting go, you know, leaving my job, like, you know, things that I never imagined myself doing. I'm embracing it because there's this inner knowing that I'm going to be just fine. Things are going to work out as long as I keep moving forward, as long as I keep focusing on pouring out of my heart into my personal mission. Yeah. It's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling. She's getting her parts back. Slowly but surely, she's healing. And she's gonna change the world. I haven't named her yet. I haven't named her yet. We'll see. We'll see what comes to mind. You guys have a good one.